So we have the title Day After Dead.
Day After Dead. Alright, so we're going with it. So it's gonna be Day After
That's what it is.
That sounded like a sad trombone sound. Like
You're a sad trombone. Emphasis on the bone.
Shit.
So I guess how do we start this off?
Well, I mean, let's talk about the last episode. I mean, are we in it? We doing it?
We're doing it.
We started from the first minute.
We started from the bottom. Now we're in it.
Oh my
To win
lord,
it.
bro.
We in
You're
the
just
well
gonna
like
take
that.
my shit? First of all, those guys should have just gotten run over. Like, who stops? Who stops the car in a fucking apocalypse? You see a biker gang on the road, I'm just gonna pull over. Like, hey,
That is a
what's
good
up?
question though.
Like, you guys like gonna smoke a doob, or you know what I'm saying? What's
Well,
going on?
I'm saying they had like how many dudes they had in that gang though? Because they had
It
like
only looked like
That was a
like
pretty
7
poor
or 8.
gang right there. Though.
no, but they had like 8 dudes there with guns and shit.
I guess those were like the prospects. Those are the prospects.
No, but in that moment, because I had that thought too, like why didn't they just drive through them?
Like
But
through them.
to counter that, it's like they could have shot out the tires then, you know,
Yeah, you know,
Right,
it was a gas tank.
and they had automatics.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
figuring too more that they had guns and they were on like motorcycles, which are pretty versatile. Plus, they're in a tanker, so they had all this oil and shit.
That is true.
You know,
Very
I can see
explosive.
that going poorly for them.
Yeah, but
So I
think
just
about it.
I get why they stopped. What I appreciate happening though, because last season ended, or half season, whatever, ended really whack. Like they left way too many threads, and like I didn't think that like them running into the gang was all that good, or the kid walking away saying "mom" was like it just
Mom.
really was kind of garbage.
I
So
know.
like
Mommy.
I appreciate them starting this one off because the entire thing I'm like, yo, they got a fucking RPG. Like what? How are they gonna act tough to these dudes? Like, you know, just go in the back, bust out the bazooka, and just handle them.
Oh, you already
So I
had that thought in your
appreciate them
head.
doing
You already
it.
had that thought.
Yeah, I was like,
No,
yo, it
Dow
shouldn't
had
really
it,
be that
yeah.
hard.
I have forgotten it.
So I appreciate them doing that, you know.
Yeah.
Well, where'd he stash that shit? Where did Daryl stash it? That was it in his pants? Like where was
How the hell
did
did
he
he
hide
do
it
that,
under
dude?
the
I don't
bumper, or like he was walking a little funny, you know, when he turned around. Where was he hiding that bazooka, bro?
Good question.
He has
man.
Batman's belt.
Bazooka boxer briefs, like you know what I'm saying, with a stash pocket.
Yo, speaking of which, I just said it. Okay, I forgot. I wanted to start this off by opening it with, what if you had to choose one weapon or one item for The Walking Dead, or if you were in a zombie apocalypse, what would it be? You know, what I mean, like a katana, a machete.
Would
If you
have to
pick a
be
gun, you
something
have
that,
limited
like-
ammo, though. You know, so you gotta think of that.
Exactly.
So
I mean, I don't have the best aim, and shooting bows is hard, but I think a bow would be the best option. Even a crossbow, I guess. I like the way Daryl's going about it because you just keep replenishing your ammo and you're good.
Yeah, but then you're gonna have to whittle like, arrows out of wood that you find all around. I'd go with a bayonet, like an M16 with a bayonet on the end of it. That's what I would do, because then it turns into a
that's not
sword.
bad. That's not bad.
True.
But it's easier to make arrows than it is to make bullets.
That's true.
So that's why you go with the AK-47 then. Because
I mean-
can't you arm it with any bullets that are out there pretty much, or that? I think you can load them. That's one of the versatile aspects of an AK-47. You can put pretty much
You
any.
still have to find bullets in general.
Yeah, you have
Right,
to find
you
bullets,
gotta
but they
take
make
into
bullets. You
account,
can
too.
make bullets out of fucking. Yeah, there's jewelry everywhere.
Unless you
fucking
have a
earrings.
musket or something.
A musket.
That's not a
right?
bad idea. Musket with a bayonet.
That's a good
I mean,
question.
you gotta figure all these other people though are like hoarding bullets and shit too, you know. And at that point too, the other people are the bigger problem because if you're really being honest with yourself, zombies aren't that big of a deal. They're slow, and it doesn't take much for you to kill them. Like you could kill them with sticks, you know what I mean? Like you know,
Yeah.
Poke them
really
in the
not that
eye.
serious. Right. You know, so like what do you really need to kill them? What you need to be concerned about is like other people that are just gonna be, you know, chaotic and shit. So in that regard, maybe a gun is better because then you don't have to worry about nothing, and then maybe you take their bullets when you're done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you just have to realize that one weapon isn't going to be enough.
That's
The
true.
one- the
That's
one-
why.
My weapon would be versatility then, I guess, to be able to use any weapon the
A gun with a
ability to
bayonet.
use weapons is probably the best.
See, that's
weapon.
why it's the versatility is what I was gonna go with,
Yeah.
and that's
True.
why I was gonna choose Batman's belt.
Batman's belt.
You never know. You got everything in there. You know what I mean? You got
I mean,
shark
if we're just
repellent. You
pulling
got
out
zombie
things-
repellent.
Fucking taser.
Pulling out things from fiction. I'm just gonna say, give me a BFG. Let's go.
Big fucking gun, bro.
Oh shit.
Didn't we talk about that one day? Like, who would you want to have with you in a
That
zombie
is another
apocalypse?
the shit. You,
Like,
you
who-
can stem off all day into different things like that.
Who's your team? What like who would be on your team in a zombie
We
apocalypse?
did. Who would you pick, Steve?
Like, I mean,
Fictional
people
characters.
that I know.
Fictional,
Or,
no,
like
fictional.
people with
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah,
Like Batman or some shit.
like
you
the
know?
Flash for runs.
Shit, hell yeah. I mean, if we're just pulling people from comics at that point, give me Superman. Fucking let's go.
That's cheating, bro.
Hey,
That's
man.
cheating. I'd rather have Wonder Woman.
Hey,
Oh,
You know,
it's true.
to start the super race.
there you go.
You know what I'm
There
saying?
you go.
I know
To
exactly
lead
what
the
you're
super
saying.
race
There
then.
you go.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Get all female group. Let's go.
All right, so to get back on The Walking Dead, yeah. So what did you think that when Daryl when he came out with that rocket and just blew them up, and you know, like they didn't have any scratches. How far away were they though? You know, I figured that they were close enough that they
Yeah, it
would
was
have
like
lost a
this-
limb or something.
Most silent fight that they've had in general. Like, he killed that dude with no one noticing. He got him with the fucking rocket perfectly. You know, killed them all. Didn't have to worry about any, fragments or anything like that.
Yeah.
Daryl's a ninja. He's Shokasuke, bro. That's what it is. Fucking guy. He's like, he's tougher than I thought. He wasn't tough at all. Like, he didn't even flinch. I didn't hear anything going on back there. That was crazy.
If they ever get rid of Daryl, I'll be so sad.
Really, though, what that made me think of with the whole Daryl thing, like, I wish I could have, like, you remember Streets of Rage, right?
Yeah.
Like, you press the button and you have the heavy artillery come in. I wish that, like, as I walk around in my day, anybody who wants to bullshit with me, anybody who's messing around, traffic, anything, you press this button, it says DEFCON Daryl. Daryl comes out of nowhere and boom, just clears the fucking area. You want to mess around?
It's
Bazooka
true.
time, bro. DEFCON Daryl. Press the button.
It was like that time you thought he was gonna die in the end of the Governor season,
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
and he just pulled it out.
That's awesome, bro. Like, yeah, you want to mess around? A button. Press it. Boom. Daryl comes up. Tanker, whatever, on the roof. Clears the shit, man. Loved it. I loved it. That was awesome.
Daryl and Glenn have the ill plot armor. They're not. They're the cards that they have to, like, get you really invested with shit. But, like, I don't think they'll ever actually get touched.
Yeah, Glenn especially. I think he's on. I think he's had 8.
Should have been dead 3 times at this point.
I think it's been 8 times actually. I was reading this on NeoGaf and people were discussing the times he almost died, and he's on his ninth life, bro.
Oh, no. Really?
All right, so here's the deal. Are we talking about just the show? Or are we talking about comics?
Everything.
Well,
I'm talking about what's
they're
on my
not
mind.
directly connected anymore, right? They're not 1-to-1
Not
Yeah,
really,
so-
The
but like
comic
there's
is-
certain things. So Negan's
because he
the
knows
character in the
ahead.
comics.
So do we want to talk about that?
I don't know how linear it is or how, how direct to specifically chronologically it is, but I know that Carl loses his
Well,
eye.
he knows because
Carl, yeah.
he was
Right.
gonna talk about it. So
Yeah, I don't know shit, man. Don't spoil it, bro.
I mean, at this point, like, this is actually about where I dropped out of comics, and I was thinking about, like, kind of catching up on them again, because it's basically what I do is I drop out, and then I kind of, like, reread them once they come out in, like, trades and shit.
Yeah.
But I was like, like,
Compendiums, you mean?
it's happening,
Compendiums.
Like, what up?
Isn't it a compendium now?
Yeah, basically, like, they got them, like, fucking 3 volumes and shit's like this huge book and shit.
Awesome.
But
I don't read books. I read compendiums, motherfucker.
fucking Dead McCon. But like, not everything is 1-to-1, like you said. It's not a linear comparison. You had a whole bunch of changes between things. Like the wife, like I forget her name, the blonde, the mother that died in this episode.
Lori?
Like
Oh no, Jesse.
Jesse, like she actually had like a relationship with Rick and shit. And like I was surprised that they killed her, because this is more or less how she died in the comics. But I
Yeah.
thought that they would have like kept her alive for a while to actually have like her and Rick have that relation, which is also why it was kind of weird that like he had flashbacks of like her and like being like, oh, like I love her, kind of, with
yeah,
that weird cut.
You know
When,
what
like,
that
they didn't
reminded
actually
me
have
of
any
right
of
there? You remember in 7? Oh, what's in the box? You remember that? And, yo, I thought that was so beautifully done. When he had those little cuts and he was thinking about it like that, that really showed how much he loved her, man.
I love that.
That little technique that they used, it reminded me of 7 when he was when
everything flashing right before him. How in that moment you have death all around you, and then you're thinking that was only a few seconds, but that must have felt like an eternity for him. You know,
absolutely.
Definitely. I just think it felt unearned because they didn't have that relationship. I mean, for the most part, like, they actually weren't even that friendly, because after he killed her husband, she was kind of pissed at him. And then, like, it wasn't really until the last, like, 2 episodes, really, where they kind of got, like, a little bit more...
the way they got a little closer. But the way I looked at it as someone, I can see that perspective, but the way I looked at it was, like, that he was looking at her as hope. You know, like, they didn't have obviously the intimate relationship, but you know, the past couple episodes of the last mid-season, they were building it a little bit, but Rick always wanted that piece of it. You know, he wanted to be with her, and he wanted that normal life for him and Carl, and for Judith growing up. So when she died, like, I thought he was thinking of, damn, that's it. Like, I really can't have the life that I want. It's not
anymore. Yeah,
it's not a reality, you know. So, like,
I see that. I took it as being more like at the end where he said, like, these people are capable. I felt it more like it was the thing that kind of led him to that as well, because he didn't take the time to really do anything to actually train these people. So they were really defenseless and they weren't really ready. But then when he sees, when it comes down to it, they made that, like, murder ball that they actually were able to take out this whole fucking horde. And it's like, oh shit, like, you know, if I had not been so absorbed in all the things regarding myself, maybe perhaps I could have, like, kept this person alive and really could have built something. And I think it was, like, a necessary step to getting him to realize what he did at the end.
Yeah.
Do we really want Rick to be falling in love in such ways, though? Do we really want him? Because love is actually like a vulnerability. It could also be your strength, of course, your passion to want to fight and push on and to move forward. But you know, like, it could become a weakness. Like, in that moment, Rick. You know, if Rick wasn't Rick, if he was another man, if he was a weaker man, that could have cost everybody everything at that point.
That's true.
At that second, if he wouldn't have snapped out of it, if he wouldn't have saw red, if he was another man, that could have been it. The show would have been over. Michonne is dead.
It shows how strong he is, you know, as a person emotionally.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. But at the same time, I do think that, like, you need to be working towards ideally building something, you know?
Because it can't go on forever, you're saying, right?
Right. You know, it can't just be the way it is now forever, which is also kind of like what Alexandra is supposed to represent, which is why it was so important to him to keep it, was supposed to be like moving towards a normal life again somehow. And you have to, and like a part of that is like love and building a family and like settling down, you know, like I feel like that's a very big thing, part of it, you know?
Did the little kid ever like annoy you?
Sam?
No, Sam. Yeah.
Oh man, absolutely. I wanted to take his cookies. I wanted those cookies.
I was so mad at the end of last finale when he said "mom."
Mom.
And then Mom. And then them in the beginning of the episode, them walking through, and then they're just walking through, and then at that point it was like I thought that it was after he said "mom," right? Uh-huh. So I thought they would have already been attacked, but it wasn't the case. It was just like
I think they just like took it. I feel like they changed. That whole mid-season was like really poorly done, and I feel like that was something that happened later on. So it's when they died and like shadowing it, but it was just so rushed, and they didn't handle any of the plot points. None of it worked. Like this episode felt like it would have been a better season finale than it would have been like an actual opener. As well done as the episode was, like I think that at the end of it all, like this would have been okay. So we lit Alexandria on fire, and now we're going to work towards rebuilding somehow. Like it just felt more like that's something you end the half season on.
It's
and
true.
Then you start the next one.
I could definitely see this fitting as a season finale though too.
To go back to my point though about the weakness and the vulnerability, Rick, again, Sam really almost cost them their lives. How good is love gonna be for Rick in this world? Love specifically for Rick because.
Well, it's the love that keeps him from saving Carl all the time. Also,
But
Right.
you know that's
Like,
that's a father's love. That's a father's
But
love,
it's
and
love.
that's you know an innate instinct for somebody to protect your child, to protect your son or your daughter. But Rick really almost made a bad decision because he should have known that was gonna happen with Sam. He should have known Sam
That's
was gonna
true.
be an idiot.
I thought about that.
And
In
he
that
was
moment,
gonna do that.
in that moment, I'm like, why isn't Rick telling her to have Sam go with them?
Oh, Jesse, you know what? Better yet, go with Sam and go with them. Watch Judith because Gabriel, he's flaky and he might let my
a good
daughter
question.
die. So I'd rather you go with them as well. Now he's got Sam the idiot out of the picture. He's got Jesse going with Gabriel.
Somehow he can trust with his daughter.
That he can trust with his
Before
daughter.
or after Gabriel?
What?
What happened?
It happened before or after the Gabriel split.
Oh, she died after the split.
Yeah,
she
after
did?
the split.
Yeah.
And then he could have kept Ron with them because I was waiting for Ron to get it so bad. I wish Michonne wouldn't have made it so easy for him and ran him through with the sword. I wish she would have just cut his arms off and like let him die
That's
slowly.
ruthless.
And because that kid was such a jerk.
He was.
You know, Carl, how protected him. Oh no, we were fighting the walkers. Everybody knew what was going on. You know, everybody knew that they were fighting. It was only a matter of time for them.
But how about Judith not dying? I mean, not crying at all.
Man.
How- let's talk about that for a minute. How do you think you have babies?
I would have
We've been around babies forever. We all know how babies are. You're gonna tell me realistically not one little peep from Judith underneath bloody rags?
Not a peep, bro. Not a peep. That girl is an iron baby. She is not playing. She's the leader. She is the next
She's the
leader.
future.
The future leader of this clan, for sure. She's
So
the
the
first
ba-
woman president right there.
I like that they're keeping Judith around though because Judith died a long time ago in the comics.
She died.
Oh,
That's
She got
crazy.
shot with Lori. That's how Lori died.
she was never born.
No, like when Lori was running away from the governor, and then they fucking shot her, and then fucking killed her and Judith.
Oh, Judith was born?
Yeah, so like it was a
Oh,
newborn.
that's
She was holding
nuts.
there. And they got
Imagine
shot.
that.
Wow, imagine that, huh?
Imagine that.
They've had Judith around for a fucking minute, so like I'm really waiting to see them hopefully do something interesting with it. But like it's a question that I've kind of been wondering for a long ass time because Judith probably should have been dead a long time ago. Like
Hell yeah, man. I'm thinking watching that episode, like my sons would have had a gag around their mouth. I would have stuffed the fucking bandanas in their mouth, like you guys are gonna
You would
shut
have
up.
given him like a sleeping pill or
Oh
something
my god,
before that?
something, bro. I would have went Frank from Shameless and stuffed fucking volumes under their tongues or some shit, bro.
you know, it's what
Something.
you gotta do. Like you can't risk that at all because next thing you know, like they're fucking fussy and they're just moving around. Like she's like the chillest baby somehow. She's like, all
Hell
right,
yeah.
I get it.
Mad chill.
Ill baby, bro. I want ill baby Judith. God bless her. Oh man.
So how you guys feeling about Morgan's character now?
I was just he's on the screen. Morgan is on fucking thin ice with me. He's walking the line with me, bro. Johnny Cash walking the line, Morgan. He was almost out. For me, he's almost out.
What's
Because this guy's almost costing people. He's costing lives. He's almost costing people's lives. And the perfect thing was when Carol said, "You did it for yourself."
Yeah.
You know, how much of it is this for yourself and for you trying to redeem yourself or trying to believe? Like, what is he, a therapist, or is he in the post-apocalyptic world here? You know, what is he going for, his doctorate in psychology, or what the hell is going on? Is he trying to survive? Like this wolf? Oh yeah, God bless. He made the turn over. Yeah, that was all Morgan. No, man, that was just by chance because the guy had an epiphany. You know. Because he needed a doctor, so it was all about, you know, the guy needing
It was a bunch
doctor.
of things that probably led to him changing like that.
Yeah, Morgan, maybe Morgan played a part, but in the greater perspective, this guy really needs to like fix his face seriously because he's gonna cost somebody's life very soon. Somebody's got to go, and I think it's gonna be because of Morgan. That stupidity that he's going through right now.
That's like the interesting thing because Morgan was a character that I wanted to come back for a while because like the last time we seen him in the episode, like in the show, was when he was in that weird town with all the traps and shit, right?
Clear, yeah.
Clear.
And it was
That's
just so
what I do.
interesting. It was mad cool. Like clear, all that shit, dope. And then he
Clear.
comes back and he's got this attitude, and I'm like, oh man, you're like not at all what I wanted. You're like the worst thing about the fucking show right now. And then when they gave him that episode that was super long,
With the
and he
bald
got
guy?
the one long episode.
Yeah.
With Dallas Crichton Willard, what's his name? Dallas Crichton Wilton.
The one who showed him how to use the staff.
Yeah, the guy I just referenced was the guy who showed him the staff how to use the staff killed. He starved him. I wanted to know more about that guy.
Yeah,
chilling in his cabin trying to make goat cheese with Google clusters.
Damn,
that
his
guy's
goat
living the
died.
life, bro.
man.
Tabitha, the goat.
He was chilling. He had a good life.
Yeah,
He was making it happen.
And look, Morgan. Look what Morgan did. You see what I'm saying? Morgan cost him his life.
Cost him his goat. He cost
I
Rick
would-
his goat, the girl. Jesse. Foreshadowing.
Shit. I would hope that Morgan would change. They don't keep him like that, though. They can't, if they got going on, he can't really act that way. And I feel like that was one of the more important things when Kyle was like, you do this for you. That's kind of like leading him on the path to like realizing that, he was being very selfish in what he was doing. Can't really act that way.
Yeah. I like Carol's character a lot. She's still a strong character.
Definitely. Kyle was awesome.
Yeah. Carol's come a long way. She's probably come the longest way out of all of them, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bruised and battered wife.
To a freaking
dynamo now. She's a juggernaut.
superpower.
Fucking one-man army. One-woman army.
And it was smart for her to, when they went into the city, that she just blended in like that.
Oh,
So smart. I love how they did that.
It was really good.
Yeah. So what about this, what's that girl's name who's with Glenn?
Enid.
Yeah.
So what's up with her? You think there's any interesting backstory that we have to find out about her?
She basically killed her parents. Is that what happened?
No, but that's true. We did find out this episode, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit when they were in the car, they showed...
Yeah. And then she wrote that, what the hell was that acronym?
JSS, Just Survive Somehow.
Mm.
Wait, she killed her parents? I thought they just died because when they were stopped.
Yeah,
Well,
they were changing a tire. They
yeah.
were changing a tire in the car.
Yeah.
And then she locked them out or some shit, I think. But she was just she was chilling in the car and they were outside, and I don't know. I guess I can go a little bit more in depth into it, but
What, she locked in the comic or something? She locked them out of the car?
she's not. I don't think she's a character in the comic. I don't think so. At least I don't remember her being. But isn't that what happened in the episode? Because she was sitting in the car and she wrote JSS on the window.
I don't remember specifically her locking the door.
Yeah, I don't think
though.
it was. I don't know if it was deliberate.
Yeah,
you know
they
what I mean?
didn't. I don't remember them showing that.
True,
I
I don't
remember her,
remember either.
the car, yeah, but
I remember her sitting in the car. I remember her writing JSS in the dust, and I remember that her parents died. I think I might have just put two and two together that she was the reason why they died.
That's the macabre in you, Steve, right there. You know,
I
probably
mean, it
was
was
her
also the
fault
way
if
she
you
was
think
acting,
about it. With these goth kids these days.
I like what they're doing with her though. I think she's cool. I like was just a love interest for Coral.
yeah. So did you guys feel anything when the guy was killed? When Carol killed the dude, the wolves guy? You didn't feel anything, right?
Nah,
Yeah, I didn't give a shit.
there was maybe a glimmer of hope for him, or maybe that would have led us. That could have been good to lead us into the wolves. Maybe if he would have escaped with the girl, then we could have seen maybe an episode of them and who they are.
It's kind of
You
it's
know?
interesting though. I guess they used him as a tool to advance what's her face's
Denise.
character, because now she's serious now. You know,
Yeah,
she's
came
ready
back.
to go.
I need 2 IVs, gauze pads. Everybody get your shit together.
She knows how to save fucking in an apocalypse someone from getting shot in the eye.
Yeah, it's serious.
Wow,
From
right?
someone who couldn't fucking solve or fix a common cold beforehand. She's all of a sudden master surgeon.
She read those books, man. That's what you do all day.
I know she was
Hey.
reading what, Grey's Anatomy. She studied Grey's Anatomy. Who's she? Tony Stark. She reads a freaking book, and the next episode,
She knows it all.
oh my lord, bro,
Genius.
genius.
That scene though when Rick brings Carl in though, and he's just standing around. He looks outside, sees all the zombies, and then the scene it goes slow motion for a second. You know,
Yeah.
as he's walking outside the door and just slowly closes it. He doesn't slam the door. He doesn't run outside. He opens the door casually and slowly walks outside with his little hatchet. And just starts chopping zombies up.
I wanted to hear.
That got me so hyped.
Hell yeah! In my head, it was for whom the bell tolls. I hear dong. Think of any hardcore metal song right now as we're watching it. Axe to the face, hatchet to the mouth right there. Oh my god, like that was beautiful. That was a beautiful thing. That's the Rick I love, not Rick. Come on, Sam.
Did you guys think he was at any moment during this? Do you think Rick was gonna get bit or scratched or anything?
Not at that point right there. I didn't think at that point, like, it would have been truly an injustice for him to get it at that moment. Truly an injustice.
To be honest, like with Rick too, I was a little surprised they went with the Carl getting shot route.
Yeah.
Because like it just I don't know, maybe it is something that's like actually important now in the comics that it happened, but I always remember thinking it was super dumb that it happened. In the comics too, but like, you know, like a long time ago, Rick should have had his arm cut off. Yeah. And they haven't done that either. So I feel like they're probably just gonna not maim Rick. Like if they do anything, that will be the thing they do. But I feel like that is something that could, like, budget wise, it's you put an eye over a kid's face, that's all you gotta worry about. Like if you gotta cut out a dude's hand every other episode, you know, and you gotta green screen it and like put a prosthetic over it, you know, too much. So I feel like they're not really gonna do much else to Rick. I don't really see him having anything happen to him.
Yeah, that'd be as cumbersome as having a hand cut off. Having to green screen his hand cut off.
Yeah, so he was.
Yeah, no, that was a joke.
Flew out of.
All right. All right. Yo, he better grow those.
He inspired a lot of courage from these people, though.
Oh, hell
like,
yeah.
Everybody just coming out right after they see Rick going to town. That's when you get your little boost of confidence. All right, we can do this shit.
Right. That was a cool shot too, where you had like you know, all the extras come out, and then like it goes through the main characters, but also all the extras. Like it all counts them as one. They're all just getting in on the murder train. And I was like, that's really cool, you know. And there was some characters in there. I'm like, yo, I'd like to see like, oh, like there's the girl with the pixie cut. I'm like, all right, so, like maybe I'd like to see more of these characters, you know, because they cold like bad characters now at this point, you know. Who the hell do you really have from Alexandria that's a name? You know.
Yeah. Wow. What's it? Trevor?
Who's that?
Deanna's son. What's his name? Trevor.
You have. I think Trevor is still alive.
He's alive still.
You have the dude that was out the Outlook. I don't remember his name. The one that found them and told them about Alexandria. He's still alive. And then you have the black dude.
The gay guy.
Yeah.
What is it? Alan, I think it is.
Oh, him and his boyfriend actually are still alive.
Him and his boyfriend are still alive.
Yeah, and then the black dude that's got the fucking dreads too. I don't remember his. Yup.
Heat, yeah, with the baby locks.
Yeah. Other than that, everyone else from Alexandria that had a name just got dead.
How about the?
No, you got the carpenter guy. He's still alive.
Is that the dude with
That was Gabriel in the church.
The tall dude.
Yeah.
Isn't it, that guy's? He's an actor, right? He's an old actor.
Which one?
The dude, I guess you said he's the carpenter?
Yeah, he was helping Rick build some stuff.
He was in the church with Gabriel.
Gabriel, what are you doing?
Older guy. You probably just don't remember him.
Older guy with like
you would know him if you saw him. He's been in other things.
He was in episodes. He was in other episodes. It wasn't just like he was in the church by chance.
I thought that there was the dude that got murdered at the end of the last episode when like everything fell because he was having like a problem or whatever.
Yeah, no, not that guy.
No, he's still here. How about the little monologue that Gabriel had? That was powerful, man. That was a big turning point for Gabriel right there. We've been praying for God to save Alexandria, and he has by giving us the courage to save it ourselves.
You know, he went in a way. I thought he was gonna lose his faith in that moment.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna say that God's not gonna do anything for us, that we have to do it ourselves, but he actually
flipped it, and
he kept his faith and used it. That God gave them the courage to step up.
That's what they, that's another thing that they need. That's big, to build faith and to build morale to keep moving forward. Everybody, we all need the Lord. The Lord is within.
Lord Jesus.
And that was a powerful moment right there. It really was like a hair standing up moment. Here, take Judith. I gotta go hack some zombie faces.
And she was crying in that scene.
Yeah, she was. Judith was crying. She picked the right time to cry. She was holding it in. Little baby. God bless her.
But, okay, being around crying babies is like, you got to build up that tolerance to it. Yes. Can you imagine these people in the church right there in a zombie apocalypse with a crying baby?
Oh, my Lord.
You're going to tell me not one of those people want to throw the baby out the window?
Throw the baby and suffocate her by mistake? Man. Oh, man, Judith. God bless her.
It's a little dark. It's getting dark in here, bro.
It's getting dark in here. Somebody turn on a lantern. And oh god, Glenn.
Yeah, the part with Glenn, they're always tugging at those strings with Glenn.
The heartstrings, man.
You know.
He's the fucking character everyone loves. You know, like it's easy drama. You know,
Yeah.
put him in some danger and then see what happens. Like, you know, it's a weird position they're in because at the same time, like you feel like Glenn and Daryl are untouchable, but you know, when Negan comes through, he's gonna have to do something to show that he's a big bad guy. Someone's gonna have to fucking get got, and who better than Daryl or Glenn? You know,
Abraham.
True. I don't think
like
he's as
Abraham a lot.
important. I
do
like
too.
Abraham a lot, but he's not like favorite. Like,
But
Daryl
that's
or Glenn.
But
well,
he's-
you know what? He's like a cult favorite.
I think
Abraham.
he's growing.
He's
True,
just
but you
just
got these
important
characters
enough,
that have
and
been around since the beginning, you know, like they've
No,
been
yeah,
with
he wouldn't make as much as of an impact, obviously, as Glenn or
Right.
Daryl, though.
No way.
People will fucking probably stop watching the show.
if Glenn or Daryl get it,
Yeah.
that'll lose people. That's why you pick Abraham, though. If you think about it, the way I would kill them is the people who came along later on. That like you come from the back forward. Like,
right.
You kill
But
the
that's
newer
why.
people.
That's
Yeah.
why you don't do it though, you know, because that's why it feels toothless. Like it's like, all right, so this guy just got introduced, so like, of course he's gonna die. But then you have this character that's like been with him for so long. It's like it feels more impactful. It's like, oh shit, Glenn just got killed. Like that's why it was like a big deal with all this like Glenn with like the bullshit way he survived with the fucking dumpster and everything.
Complete bullshit.
Oh come
Yeah.
on, man.
That's
So much
bullshit.
bullshit.
Made no
I
sense.
wouldn't call bullshit on that. That's
Complete bullshit.
That's
He's around
impossible.
hundreds of thousands of zombies, and first of all, his head when he fell, it was facing the other way from the garbage. That's first of
Right.
all. Second of all that fresh blood all over him. Where's he going?
Yep.
garbage. It is hot and it is Atlanta. I mean, it is Georgia.
That's
I
movie
mean,
magic.
It's
if
a
we're being
dumpster.
realistic too, dumpsters are not high enough for you to be able to crawl under.
That's another thing.
But
Like,
it
that
is,
movie
it
magic,
is
being
Georgia. You don't know what it's different down south, man. It's different down there.
It was a waste of episodes too. I think like they took way too long to just be like, of course he's alive. Like even the way it was shot, like I was never really convinced he was dead because like it
Yeah.
didn't look like it didn't make sense for like the way they were ripping apart the fucking
The body, and there was
body. It
like
didn't make sense for it to be
blood
Glenn.
didn't even come out his mouth or nothing. Usually they
Right.
have, something like that. Coughing
you
out
know.
blood.
All right, bullshit. All right, you got me.
But like that was like an indicator, of like how people felt about like so what happened to Glenn, right? Because like
Yeah.
I remember seeing people that were like, "Oh, if Glenn's done, I'm done."
That. Maybe they were just testing the water then, right?
Definitely felt that way.
What do you think about their plan though? How did they put the gas in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how it was.
Yeah, he sprayed the water with the gas. With the
and they lit it on
And now-
fire.
That's such a good idea. It attracts
It
the
is.
zombies to the fire. and
But
they'll
it's
just get
weird
burnt.
too, because like if that's all it took, then like straight up, why didn't like it's this weird thing because then it makes you think about it, and it's like so then why didn't they just always just
Do
as
that.
soon as the apocalypse starts, just start a fire, and evidently they're attracted to fire and they'll kill themselves. No,
because there's only one Daryl. That's
True.
right. There's only
true.
one Daryl.
only Daryl would think about that. Why don't we light them on fire?
Oh, that's it. I'm smart.
That's a good idea.
No, they do have a lot of little things like that. Whether you call them loopholes or just whatever. But like those scenes where I forgot, it was in the first season, I believe. They were on the highway. Someone was hiding under, their arm was cut. Was that T-Dog?
T-Dog. Yeah.
He had his arm cut, and the zombie couldn't tell he was there.
Because,
But in
he was
another
on
scene,
the
the zombies were able to smell the blood in another
Right.
episode.
It's all plot driven. Like to be honest, too.
Yeah.
Like they've known since I'm pretty sure the first season, right? That you can just wear zombie guts and like walk through
Right,
'em.
exactly. And they're not
Like, why aren't
abusing
they
it.
doing that all the time?
All
It's
the
like, well, it'll be a
time.
boring ass show, right?
But
That's true.
they forget things sometimes. People forget. People are forgetful. It happens. People are forgetful, man.
How about this little scene when they all get a piece of the action? What do you think about that?
The little cuts when everybody gets a little camera time like that.
That's what I was saying before. I think that's a hot scene. It's very well done, and like it was cool to see these extras get in on it. There were certain things that looked a little funny, like just a quick cut. And originally, when it first happened, I was like, "Oh man, looks a little silly." They're cutting at nothing, and then the way like Rick kind of like walks back into
Walks to the
shadows.
dark. Yeah, it was definitely cheesy, but it was interesting.
Greg Nicotero, God bless him. Yeah, he was the one who directed this episode, Greg Nicotero.
Does he do like all of the season openers and finales and shit? Premieres?
I'm not sure, actually. Good question. The Googles. Hit the Googles.
Facts don't matter, son.
Does it? Sometimes you got a bazooka, sometimes you don't, bro. It's okay.
Man.
So what do we think is gonna happen to Carl? You think he's out for a few episodes? Next episode he's back? What?
He's on the DL, 15-day disabled list.
I think he's up sooner rather than later, but like it's weird because like I don't want to touch any of that stuff because if we're not gonna talk about comic stuff, then like I have a general feeling of what they're gonna do.
Oh, you think they're gonna keep it consistent?
I mean, they have to some degree if they're introducing Negan and what he represents. So, like, if they're gonna have this character come in, then I'm sure that he still is a part of a thing, and that's probably like certain things that I think will happen. But you know, they've taken swerves before, and it's not like like we said before, it's not like linearly 1-to-1. You know, so I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm sure that like when Negan comes, he's gonna still represent something. You know.
The show gives us does a good job of like setting us up with expectations. Like we think we have an idea of something, and then just throwing us a curveball.
Definitely.
But Negan's gonna be the dude from Watchmen, right?
Yeah, that's Papa Winchester from Supernatural. He's a good character.
What was his name in Watchmen?
The clown, the comedian.
The comedian.
Yeah, the comedian.
Yeah, I like that dude.
Yeah,
it's a good actor to get Negan. A lot of people like Negan a lot. I don't know. Like I said, this is about where I checked out of the comics, so
yeah. Do you watch the previews for next episode?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
I couldn't tell you what happened. I don't remember nothing about it, but I saw it.
I'll just start figuring shit. I'll just start like figuring things out in my head.
It's crazy how trailers get.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. You know,
it's like those next time on Dragon Ball Z, Goku goes Super Saiyan and kills Frieza.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, it depends a lot of times. Like for the most part, you know, they've been pretty good about the previews on this show. They're not too spoilery. But you know, like I get the general sense that they're gonna do a whole lot of rebuilding and they're not necessarily giving up on Alexandria because that's what Rick pretty much said at the end of the episode. So like, you know.
Damn, I hope they don't go like 5 episodes this season of slow
rebuilding the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
I mean, as long as it's, I mean, it all depends obviously how they do it, but I just always have flashbacks to the season with Sophia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, it gives them a moment to think about things though, because really only one watchtower. Only one at the walls.
Rebuild
only
it
one.
stronger.
Yeah, rebuild it stronger, better. Maybe 2 watchtowers,
Faster.
4, 10 more watchtowers.
This episode would have been such a good mid-season finale because then you could have just easily started up in a time skip. Boom, start up a new season.
That's a very good point.
I mean, they burnt pretty much all of Alexandria, so like they're gonna have to show at this point some of the rebuilding. It could be weird to just do like a time skip now, you know.
Yeah.
Didn't they do that in the comics though as well? Because like I said, I got Walking Dead 1 in the comics, but didn't they do like a time jump?
They've done a couple actually. They did one during the prison, and then they've done like a pretty serious one lately. That's why like I was also really considering starting again because like they went like a few years, which is why I was like, oh, it sounds interesting where they're taking it. So like I was like, that's why I might pick it up. Because I dropped it a while ago because it was kind of getting boring. But like then they did like a legit like, you know, Carl's like a young adult and shit and whatever. And I'm like, all right, so it sounds like it's interesting. That was also why it was a weird thing because my recollection was Carl got shot and it blew up like half his face. And then immediately after is when they did the time jump with him waking up. Right? That was kind of like, that's how I kind of remember it happening at least. So like that's why it feels a bit weird that they're kind of not going that angle here if they're going to also have the Carl getting shot thing. I don't know.
Will Carl be a badass now with an eye patch? A lot of people don't like Carl, but I like Carl.
I like Carl a lot.
He's alright, I like Carl.
From the days of the bear paw, from the bear paw shirt.
The only time I didn't like him though was when he was the annoying little kid and got Dale killed.
God damn, yeah, those are the episodes I think about when he's like, I could take care of myself. Carl, quit trying to get yourself killed, man.
So mad.
Oh,
So
man.
I like that.
Freaking Carl, he's a little punk. He was a little punk. I love him now though. He's growing up right before our eyes.
Yeah.
He got a little
It's true.
beard
We
on.
did see him.
Little sideburns. Yeah.
Saw him grow.
Saw him grow. I'm proud of him.
Young boy.
I still remember the first episode when I forget what season it was, but when they came back in, he had the gun with the silencer when they busted in the house like that.
Oh yeah.
He just started plugging zombies.
Yeah.
I mean walkers. Sorry.
That's a good idea too. A silenced weapon.
Yeah, with the can on it, with the bottle.
A silenced assault rifle with a grenade launcher attachment.
Awesome.
Or Batman's belt.
In Batman's belt.
In Batman's belt.
There you go. That's the way to do it.
In the utility belt. Awesome.
So any final thoughts? I guess to wrap this up.
I mean, it
so
was a
far
really
it's-
solid episode. You know.
Yeah, it was a
really
good start.
want to see what they do.
10 watchtowers.
10.
Seriously, more than one watchtower.
They got to build it higher. They got to
Get a higher
reinforce it.
fence, man. Chain link and just do what you did at the fucking prison. Whenever a zombie comes up, start poking him.
That's it.
True. And that's true. They got to set up a perimeter outside the walls too. You know, like what
moat
what Morgan
kind
was
of thing.
doing with
the sticks, yeah.
the town. You know,
Yup.
all those traps.
You know, and this is the best way. You know, you don't have to worry about him at all.
Yeah,
Drag
put him
get through.
exactly. Put him to work on
That's true.
something. Put him to use. Keep him busy.
Go clear.
Go
Get it
clear.
There's a lot of zombies to clear.
Go clear.
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 I
That's what I
really
do.
like Morgan. I hope he improves. That's probably one of my biggest things. I hope they improve upon in the future episodes.
Morgan.
Man, he's such a cool character, and he's had
Yeah.
such an interesting arc from like the way you first met him, and then like the way you've kind of seen him grow and change over the time. But then like they kind of introduced him, and he's like this tiny dude who's just not. I don't know. It just wasn't as interesting as I think he could have been.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in seeing where they take him.
So that concludes the Day After Dead, the first one we're throwing out there in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, first in history.
So if you want to reach us, you can reach the IXI Club at twitter.com/IXI Club. We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/IXI Club. You'll find this on, and our SoundCloud, also IXI Club.
Yep.
As far as me personally, I'm FUNKNOWN. You can reach me at on Twitter at unknownIXI.
Yep. And I'm on Twitter as Asadasa, Asadasa, where you can find me as well.
Oh, we never actually gave you a introduction. What's your name? You just the letter J right now?
That's me, Jay. Holla at me.
And here's
Special guest.
and here's Jay.
At the meat market, butcher shop. You know, the chef, come see me.
So until next time, we'll see you guys, or guy or girl or whoever's not watching, listening, whoever this is. I gotta work on my sign-offs. Asadasa, you gotta help out with this, man.
All right, man. Let's do it. Thanks for watching Walking After Dead, Day After Dead, Day After Dead. Day After Dead is what we decided on. We did it. All right. Thanks for listening. You know where to reach us. We out.
Wah, wah, wah.